I feel like I'm forgetting something. Something important. Oh, fuck, that's right. I have a shitty movie to review.
Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, I'm here today to review for you Us. Now, Us is the second film directed by Jordan Peele. He also wrote, produced the film. It is a Blumhouse production. Us is a horror film where ultimately there's a family. They're on vacation. They're trying to enjoy themselves. The wife is a little bit weird, and next thing you know, there's a strange group of people outside just standing and lurking at their home. Now, in case you are excited for the film, I will not spoil anything, but now I'm just going to get on to the nitty gritty of it and tell you that this movie royally sucks. I get it. Jordan Peele is a hot item right now. He's being guffawed about by the critics of Hollywood and all of that. But I'm here to set the record straight. It's not good. The film is not good, and I don't understand why, other than he's a hot item, that they have to guffaw over him. And yes, I like the word guffaw, as long as you throw that dramatic emphasis on there. It's just, it makes no sense, and I that's the difficult part. I can't spoil anything, so I can't tell you specifically why, but just some of the creepy imagery and things like that. Where horror really works is where you feel contained, you feel trapped, like you can't get away. You don't really have that feeling in this film because certain things happen and the characters have certain traits and elements of the enemies that you just say, what? Okay, fine, I'll deal with that. Like, this is only, I guess, a mild spoiler. Does nobody own a gun in this world? Do the police just never have to deal with things, I guess? I don't know. But the movie, just the more you think about the film, the less it makes sense. When I walked out of the theater, everybody in the theater was all going, that really sucked. And we stood in the parking lot for a minute and all talked about how nonsensical the film was. That's the best word I can describe it. Nonsensical. Jordan Peele, word of advice, especially from Get Out as well. Wide angle lens close ups died in 2002. Please stop trying to bring them back because they're annoying. A little bit is fine, but there's certain shots in this that you're just like, Jesus, why is that angle there? Jordan Peele, in his directing and cinematography style, is trying so hard to be M. Night Shyamalan that it's just kind of sad to see it, where you're like, you were working on Key and Peele, you were going somewhere, and now you're just trying really hard to be M. Night Shyamalan. And not even the good M. Night Shyamalan. The actors, for instance, they're talented people. We know this. Lupita Nyong'o is a talented actress. The acting in this film is so over the top, and none of the characters feel real. I was sitting there watching the film, and not once did I say that is a real person. They're cartoon characters. They go from being over the top cartoon characters to Jordan Peele clearly wanted a joke right there, so now it's become a really bad Key and Peele sketch. And there's no in between. The characters aren't real. You can tell they're just catalysts for Jordan Peele's own thought, which, yes, that's what all writing is, but the point of writing is to make the characters feel real. Not once did any of these characters feel real. They all were just cartoons again. It's like, oh, you got the weird one, you got the bratty one, you got the dopey dad one, you got the one character that makes sense that clearly is the Ellen Ripley in the Aliens universe equivalent for us, just not as cool. And they're just all character tropes, and they have one trope and they never resolve any of that. They never change. They're all that character. Like, the dad is one of the most obnoxious characters, where you'll be sitting there is a moment of great tension, and the dad just throws in a dad joke in the most uncomfortable place. And I get that Jordan Peele is trying to make the dad like the comedic relief. The timing is just so bad. It's been done better in countless other films, because then you sit there and go, are you trying to do a comedy? or just a straight up horror, because neither makes sense right now. And certain characters, when you just sort of find out are dead per se, or they just happen to have a thing happen, and it's nonsensical. I keep going back to that word. It's nonsensical. I did not enjoy this film. There is a technically political message in the film, and yeah, sure, fine, great, cool. I didn't even bother to notice it. So if you're trying to not be obvious about your political message, props to you. But then, yeah, the plot twist literally devalues and actually makes the film have bigger plot holes by having the plot twist. If they just left the plot twist out of this film, it would have gone from like an F to like an F plus, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, at least it wasn't insultingly stupid at that point. But literally, it does undo a bunch of stuff and make stuff make no sense. So you sit there and go, why does that even exist, other than he, again, is trying to be dollar store M. Night Shyamalan? Again, critics are raving about it. It's probably going to get a Best Picture nomination because they nominated Get Out, which frankly didn't deserve it in my opinion. But this film is infinitely worse than Get Out. Get Out is actually... I feel bad at this point for ripping into Get Out when... which I didn't review on this channel, by the way. But I actually feel bad now for ripping into Get Out because this is his follow-up film that's now a thing, and it's so much worse. And it's like they're not scary because they're all cartoon characters. I didn't relate to a single character in this film because they're, again, all cartoon characters. It is literally like they took the really bad characters from a really crappy like Sci-Fi Channel original movie and crossbred them with really, really bad Spike Lee characters. You know the ones I'm talking about, like the angry white people in Bamboozled and Do the Right Thing. Like, it's that level of cartoony and annoying. But the political, I'm not talking about the politics of Spike Lee films. I'm not, because that's not really the political point that this film was trying to convey. It's just the example of how cartoony and fake the characters are that you just couldn't connect. So I was bored. I felt no tension at any point. The only time I remotely was like, oh, that could be intriguing, is when it's in the third act. You kind of see an aftermath of certain things and you go, okay, I'm intrigued. They go nowhere with it really. But again, that it's like, okay, it's one of the last shots where I'm like, so how's that gonna work? We gonna address that? Like, that's an interesting idea. That's what I'm curious about, because it makes a giant freaking plot hole unless you explain it, and they never do. And so all in all, guys, gals, and everything in between, this film is just simply bad. It is not a good movie. It's not so bad it's good. It's not a guilty pleasure film. It's just plain bad. It's sloppy filmmaking. It's Jordan Peele did not hit it out of the park. It's just not good. And I'm so ready to be done talking about this film because I keep going around in circles to just everything is bad. The soundtrack is terrible. The jump scares that happen once or twice are the really bad 1990s jump scares, in my opinion. There's just loud noises for the sake of loud noises. It's just not good. I actually really want Jordan Peele to do a good film, but I have not liked either of his directing efforts. So I have to say that Us is garbage. Alright, guys, gals, and everything in between. Did you guys like it? Did it even remotely work for you at all? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Got plenty more videos coming to you. This is the worst film of the year so far. Love you guys.